What's up everyone, and welcome to a new studio setup. Yes, we've moved, but today we're going to be talking about the Ray-Ban metaglasses Gen 2 after having owned them for at least 3 months now. I want to talk about pretty much everything to do with these things because you're probably looking to purchase a pair either for yourself or for somebody else. I've made a whole video about who they would be best for as a gift, but I just want to talk about my experience with these glasses, having had them now for 3 months and having had the Gen 1 versions for almost 2 years. So the Gen 2 are a bit of an upgrade over the Gen 1 and not actually that drastic. So if you're looking to get a cheaper version of the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, Gen 1 might just be an option. The differences between the two are mainly to do with the battery life and then of course a little bit of an upgrade with the camera quality. You can save about $100 on the Gen 1 over the Gen 2 and the rest of the internals are pretty much the same. I've heard that there's a bit of a faster transfer time between the glasses themselves and the app. I haven't really noticed too much. It is very quick, but I thought it was pretty quick on Gen 1 too. Anyway, as you probably know, the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses have taken the internet by storm. If you're a tech person, you're probably really curious about these. I bought them because I am into filming and videography. I do client work and I wanted a way to film behind the scenes without having to set up a whole nother camera system to film behind the scenes. I wanted to just have something seamless. And these very much do that. So physically, these look like just a regular pair of Wayfarer glasses. Ray-Ban makes various different versions of this in different styles of their popular styles. And then of course you have Oakley Meta glasses as well. And they have about 2 different versions of their glasses in that form factor. The main obvious feature of these glasses is of course the camera. The camera lens is actually on this side. It looks like there's 2 cameras, but one is a indicator, a light to let other people know that you're recording, and then the other is a camera. The camera quality on these things is supposedly 3K. Now that reduces slightly if there's something obstructing the lens. There's an auto feature that will auto crop your image to cut out your hat, for instance, if it's in the shot. It might reduce the quality of your image slightly. You can also turn that off in the settings, but the camera quality of the Gen 2 is 3K. The other thing that these things have are a speaker in them. These arms, they look just like regular glasses. Honestly, nobody would know, aside from if you saw these little lenses here, but for the most part, people are like, wow, these are smart glasses. It's pretty insane. But the speakers are not bone conducting speakers in the arms. They're actually little speaker grills in the bottom here. And there's a little vent in the top as well. And it hyper focuses sound into your ear canal. And the audio quality is actually really incredible. I use these mostly as just a pair of headphones. And the cool thing about them is the fact that you can still hear your surroundings well. It doesn't obstruct your ears, unlike other headphones. This of course just leaves your ears open to naturally hear what's around you, which I think is actually really helpful in some scenarios. Now, of course, if you're in a noisy environment, there is no noise cancellation, so you're gonna have trouble hearing. It does go quite loud, but if you're walking near a road or something like that, it can be quite hard to hear some of your music. So that's worth bearing in mind. And then those speakers also act as speakers for when you're talking on the phone. So there are multiple speakers situated around the frame of these glasses and they pick up audio. And I think they do some AI processing as well. And it's really actually quite good. I've been walking down a busy street and although I said you can't really hear super well, the microphones pick up your voice really, really well. And people haven't even known that I'm outside. They've kind of thought I was in a room, in a quiet room. So that was something unexpected that I didn't think to get when I was just buying these glasses for the camera feature. In terms of other physical features on these glasses that are different from the regular Ray-Ban Wayfarers is the fact there's a button on here, physical button. This is the shutter button. If you press it once, it will take a photo and it indicates through a sound through the speaker. And if you hold it, it will take a video and you can set up the video duration in the app as well. I think by default, it's like a minute. You can set it up to 3 minutes. And then if you decide to reduce the video quality to 1080p, which you can also do in the app, you can get 5 minutes of recording on this. One of the biggest pain points I think people have had about these cameras on these glasses is the fact that it's vertical format, not horizontal format. A lot of people wanted these for filming YouTube content and stuff like that. Of course, you can put vertical format on YouTube in the form of shorts, but you can also crop in on that 3K image and you'll get, of course, a reduced quality image, but in 16:9. It's not ideal, but you can do it, or you can put the bars on each side. There are a lot of people on YouTube integrating the footage from these things. When it comes to downloading that footage, there is no physical connection to your computer or anything like that. It's all done through the app wirelessly. So it's pretty automatic. When you take some videos, it will automatically download to your phone through the app, and then your app has access to your photos, and you can allow it to directly put whatever content you've captured on these glasses directly into your Photos app. Sorry to interrupt this video, but I really wanted to ask you if you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel. I know every YouTuber is asking the same thing, but what it does is it shows that there's engagement. People want to continuously watch the videos from this channel. So if you feel like you've had any value from these videos that I've been creating and you want to see more, it'd be very helpful to me if you could click that subscribe button. Also, any engagement like leaving a comment or something like that would really help. And it's also good for me because then I can help. It can help me decide what videos to make, so I can help you guys as well. So thanks again, I really appreciate the support, and let's get back into the video. There's about 32 gigabytes of memory on these things, and it's kind of like a cache system. So once everything's been captured and then downloaded to your phone, once that's full, it gets rewritten over. There's also a touchpad on the side, which you can't see, and there's no physical tactile indication that it's there. But sliding forward on this touch bar will allow you to turn the volume up, turn the volume down by sliding backwards. You can tap it to pause your music. And I believe you can like hold for Meta AI, and you can program some of these things in the app itself as well. One of the issues that I've had is I've been talking to somebody, I've had my music loud, someone's come up to me quickly and wanted to talk. And although my ear is open, the music is so loud and distracting, I've wanted to pause it, and I've hit the wrong part of the arm. So then I'm left just tapping around, and it's sometimes turning on and off and on and off, or sometimes I miss it completely, and it can be really frustrating. And people can wonder why you're spending all this time tapping your temple. So I end up most of the time just removing the glasses whenever I talk to people. I wish it was a little bit more tactile, so you know immediately when you've paused your music. So that would be a bit of a downfall, I think, of that touchpad itself. But these do detect whenever they're on your face and whenever they're off. So for instance, if you are listening to music and you take them off, the music most of the time will stop. And that's helpful as well if you're listening to music and you take them off and you put them on the desk, for instance. And speaking about putting them on your desk, I'm going to show you a really handy accessory for these glasses from my sponsor, VR Wave. They make replaceable lenses for your Ray-Ban Meta glasses. I had the polarized version of these glasses when I first bought them, and then quickly realized they were only usable outside. And I wanted to make full use of the functionality of these inside as well. So I got the lenses from VR Wave, the transition lenses. So when I walk indoors, they are clear, and when I walk outside, they dim slightly so I can I don't get blasted by all the light when I walk outside. They're super easy to change. You just pop them out and pop the new ones in. And they have all sorts to choose from, different colors and stuff like that. And they even do prescription lenses as well. So you put in all your prescription details and they'll send them to your door. And you can just pop out the old ones and pop the new ones in. So the way these glasses usually charge is in the charging case. But if you don't want to put them in your case, or you don't have the case with you or something, and you just want to have these to hand, VR Wave makes a desk stand charger. So you can just pop these things onto the desk stand like this, and then have these on your desk displayed, ready for you to pick them up whenever you need them. And they charge via USB-C, and whenever you want to use them, you just pick them up and of course use your glasses as you regularly would. It's another way of charging these things, and I found it quite handy just to have this on my desk, and I want to top these things up with a little bit of an extra charge. So I want to say thanks to VR Wave for sponsoring this video. I'll leave links down in the description below, and I'll also pin the first comment so you can see how to get the lenses and these accessories by VR Wave. Thanks once again for sponsoring this video. Now we've talked about one way of charging your glasses, and we briefly touched on the fact that the case charges the glasses as well. This thing holds up to, I believe, 16 hours of extra battery, or 42 hours, something like that. I'll leave it on the screen here. And there's an integrated battery into this thing. So you get multiple charges out of your glasses. Glasses supposedly last 8 hours on one charge. I don't find that's the case most of the time. I find it's like closer to maybe 4 hours, especially if you're using them a lot, you're filming a lot. The battery can run down quite quite quickly. So that's worth bearing in mind, and you cannot replace the battery in these things. So the battery in this is not replaceable, and the battery in these are not replaceable, which is kind of a downside. It means that once your battery is depleted, like fully, and only gets a little bit of charge, you can't replace the battery. You just end up having to use these as regular glasses, which is kind of annoying. And my Gen 1s, after 2 years, the battery was holding for like a little bit less than an hour when I was listening to music and stuff, which was kind of a bummer. And these are kind of expensive things to have that happen to. The Gen 2 has a longer battery life than Gen 1, so hopefully they'll last even longer. And basically, there are 2 little connection points on the bridge of the nose here that line up with the connection points in this glasses case. And the glasses case is actually quite premium. And you just pop them down in there, and then you close the case, and there's a little indicator light to tell you that when to charge the case. It goes from green to orange. And there's also a little button on the back as well, which helps you pair everything via Bluetooth to the app. On the bottom, there's USB-C for charging the whole device. And you of course can charge the case separately to the glasses or with the glasses in them as well. So it's a really clever system, and it's a premium feeling case, kind of fake leather on the outside and then like a fake softer leather on the inside as well. After 2 years, my previous case did not deteriorate too much, and this one isn't looking like it's going to either. And the Gen 2 case is virtually the same as Gen 1. I haven't really noticed any difference there as well. The only downside with this though is that it's quite bulky. This doesn't fold down or squeeze down, so if you want to go out with your glasses and you want them to last a long time and you want to have the extra charge, then you have to keep this on you somehow, and it fills a pocket quite easily. And sometimes I'm not even taking a jacket and I don't really want to take this thing with me, so then I'm just reliant on the battery life of these things. A lot of people don't know this. There is another physical button on the inside of these glasses that allows you to turn off the glasses. So if you're wearing them and you're not actually using them, you can turn off the battery, and then that will save you some extra battery. Or you can turn off the switch, which will turn off the glasses, and that will save you a little bit of extra battery there. So I guess finally, we'll just kind of talk about the weight. We talked about the form factor being very much the same as regular Wayfarers, and the weight is kind of, you don't even notice it. They're not heavy glasses at all. I really think that if you handed these to anybody and they didn't know, they would probably just instinctively think that they were regular glasses. They don't feel much heavier than that, which I think is really impressive for this piece of tech. Now let's get to some of the other features of these glasses that make them useful, because they are not just cameras and headphones. They've integrated Meta AI.
Hey Meta.
Meta's really been pushing AI lately, and they've created a companion app for this called Meta AI. And it's kind of their hub for these glasses. On there, you can change all the settings and all the connections. These things connect to Garmin, Apple Health, and Strava as well. That's kind of more useful for the Oakley glasses that are a bit more designed for sports and action and stuff. But these do connect to those apps, and you can get data from your watch, and whenever you decide to post using a photo from that run or something like that, you can then project on those stats onto that image, which is kind of interesting for those that are interested in sports and all of the stats as well. You can also then ask Meta AI questions about your last week's performance, like how far you ran and stuff like that, and what your pace was on your last run. So it can pull all of that from Garmin and Strava, which could be really interesting for some people. There are also connections with the music apps, the main music apps, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. Unfortunately, there's still no YouTube Music, which is kind of annoying because I use YouTube Music as part of my premium plan. So what that means is that if I want to change or call up a specific song, I have to get my phone out and change it, or I have to ask Siri. So unfortunately, there is no YouTube Music compatibility. It's also not compatible with other apps like Tidal and stuff like that. So you will have to actually get your phone out and change tracks that way as well. Other connectivity, there is Outlook and Google Calendar connectivity that's recently been added, which means that you can ask Meta to add certain things to your calendar. It can't then go and edit any of those things that you've added to your calendar, which can be a bit annoying, but it's cool that you can even put those in your calendar as well. You can also talk to it like a LLM, something like ChatGPT. From my experience, it's not as good as ChatGPT or Gemini. You can ask it most common questions that you might have. It also has the ability to access the camera as well, so you can ask it what you're looking at and stuff like that. I used it recently in a video where I went traveling to Spain and I asked it what I was looking at. Half the time it got things right, half the time it messed up. So I wouldn't rely on it so much at the moment. But one thing I will say about Meta is they're constantly improving this product. They say you shouldn't buy a product for the promise of it getting better over time, but they have proved with this device. So I wouldn't be surprised if the AI gets better and better as well. And it's the same AI on Gen 1 as it is on Gen 2. So it's worth knowing. Aside from the AI assistant from that standpoint, you can also do something called live AI with these glasses, and it will respond without you having to re-summon it each time, and it will remember a bit of context as well. You can then go and view those conversations in the app. It'll give you a feed just like it will with any other large language model. So you can see what you've kind of discussed and go back through your conversation. You can also ask it to take notes and to remind you certain things at certain times as well, which is handy. So if you have vision issues, then these glasses can be actually really helpful. They have a Be My Eyes feature, and it will use your camera to help a volunteer see what you're looking at, and they can then explain through the headphones what you're looking at. So that's a really cool feature for people with sight issues. Another way of using these glasses if you have sight issues as well is just asking it what you're looking at and to read you certain text. I have a friend that has some sight issues and he's found that it's helped him navigate airports and train stations a lot quicker. So that's really handy as well. One thing I will say though is figuring out the prompts to get the right answers has been a bit challenging for me. So things like asking it to take a photo, it's as simple as saying take a photo, take a video, stop recording, start recording. But other things like look at what I'm looking at and read it back to me, it probably won't understand that. You kind of have to say take a photo and read me the text on this image. So it often takes a bit of trial and error to figure out how to get the glasses to give you what you want. So that's worth bearing in mind. Live AI does help for that. Finally, it's worth talking about the translate functionality of these glasses. So you can wear these glasses and set a language that somebody is going to speak to you in, and it will translate their voice into your language. So someone could speak French to you and it will translate that to English, or you could do the other way around. Now, there are only a certain amount of languages available on the app currently. I think it's like French, Italian, Spanish, and German at this present time, but I'm sure they'll add some more as time goes on. And it's quite interesting to hear it, that it can actually be quite distracting if you know a little bit of the language, because there's a delay in it responding to you via audio. So you kind of already hear what they've said, and then it will give you what it said in the translated language in your glasses. Gosh, if that makes sense. So the delay can be a bit off-putting, and you almost have to look away from the person whilst you're listening to what the glasses are telling you once it's been translated. So that can be a bit challenging. But then whenever you speak, it comes up on the app in their language, so you can just show them your phone. So it's an interesting way of using Translate. I believe the newest AirPods have that feature as well. I've not had a chance to test how good they are, but in a pinch, if you need to learn what or hear what someone's saying, you can put Translate mode on and you can understand, and it's kind of a cool thing to have. So just briefly, some of the other features that you can do is you can ask Meta to take a photo and post it to social platforms like WhatsApp and Instagram and stuff like that. Send photos and video to WhatsApp contacts. One thing I've noticed though is that most of us, when we're posting on Instagram, you want to add captions and you want to add some music to a story that you might want to post. So for me, it's not really been that helpful, but you can just essentially go throughout your day and say, hey, take a photo and post this to my Instagram, and you can link all of those accounts in the app. Another cool feature with these glasses is the live video calling. So whenever you're video calling using WhatsApp, you can actually tap into the feed of your camera to show the person that you're video calling your point of view. So normally, of course, it comes up on your phone in a selfie mode camera, and you can switch the camera to the back of the phone as well. But now there's a button on WhatsApp that you can press, which is like a little glasses symbol, and it will then show the person your feed from your glasses, which I think is really cool. Obviously that requires a pretty good internet connection to be able to do that. But I've used it numerous times when I've been in cool locations and I wanted to show somebody what I'm looking at. And it's just a really cool way of showing somebody your point of view. And then briefly, once again, touching on the video aspects of these glasses as well. So I mentioned that there is a shutter button, but you can also ask it to record hands-free. So you can say, hey, Meta, start recording, and then stop recording. And this thing will do it all automatically. So if you're filming like I'm filming, I can film behind the scenes without having to actually physically touch the glasses. And I think the photo and video experience with these glasses are really, really good because it allows you to capture the moment without having to get your phone out. And of course, like I said, there's an indicator light so other people know that you're recording. I think some people do get weirded out when they know that you're wearing Ray-Ban Meta glasses because they don't always know that there's a light. So they'll sometimes say to me, hey, are those the smart glasses? Are you recording me right now? And then I have to explain that if I was recording, there would be a light and they would know it. But a lot of people freak out about that. It is quite hard to turn the light off on here. So if you cover it, it has a sensor and it knows that you're covering the light. There are little ways around it, but for the most part, you're not going to really cover up that light. It's not like you can put a sticker on it and stop the light from coming through if you were trying to film some kind of undercover stuff or something like that. And there's also an indicator light on the inside of the frame so you can see when you're recording as well and when the AI is activated, and you can change the brightness of that in the app, right? Which I think is really good. Overall, after 3 months, these glasses just have got better and better with the firmware updates. In terms of the physical look of them, they are the matte black version. They don't look like they've worn too much. The downside of the matte black version is that you get your fingerprints on them quite well. I think you would probably with the shiny version as well. And then in terms of build quality and construction, you can definitely see the plastic seams where the parts of the plastic have been welded together. So that's pretty obvious. And it's kind of a shame considering they cost so much. But I mean, another person wouldn't notice them. It's just whenever you look at them up close. Aside from that, I'm really happy with these glasses. I use them daily. It's just like you'd probably use your headphones daily. I now use these glasses daily. I think they're well worth the buy, especially if you get Gen 1. Gen 1 I think is a really good deal considering Ray-Ban glasses are generally almost $200 anyway, and the Gen 1s are just like $200 and something now. So worth buying. I'll leave links to everything down in the description below. If you can use my affiliate links for anything, that would really help me out. And I'd love it if you could subscribe for more videos about this, and go and check out some of the other videos I've done about the Ray-Ban glasses as well. They might help you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.